So the Queen of Oils, let's just get set up here quickly. Really, really excited. Hi, everyone. Daphne here. It's Thursday. It's awesome to be able to just jump on live. So this morning I was using this amazing bottle, rose oil. Anybody actually own this bottle? Here it is, a 5 ml. It takes thousands and thousands of petals. We call this the Queen of Oils. And so what I'm going to do is I want to share why you need this oil in time. Now I know it's a precious oil. It is the most expensive oil that doTERRA has. I have a fun story that I love to tell people. Is I had a bunch of students in my house about 2 years ago. 15 of them were staying. Actually some were staying with neighbors. Some were staying in a trailer that we had outside. All these young adults had descended on Calgary for a while. And I had told them, use whatever oils you want to use. And I came down early one morning and there was my friend Ben from France. And Ben said, oh, Daphne, I had the most incredible cup of tea this morning. And I went, oh, Ben, what did you do? He said, I used one of your oils. And I get, well, which oil did you use to make a cup of tea, Ben? And he went on and said, Daphne, I used your rose oil and it tasted great. And I went, oh my goodness. Didn't tell him at first, but likely the most expensive cup of tea he's ever had. It is the Queen of Oils. And so I want to take this time, I want to share in the next 20 minutes or so, if you can stick with me, is the benefits of this essential oil taught by Emily Wright from Convention. So here we go. I'm going to share the actual live convention. Let's go there right now. If you don't know who Emily Wright is, she is the only woman that's part of the founding. Here we are, everyone.
Just a moment, right?
The directors.
Now, 2 years ago, we introduced Rose Touch. How many of you have loved Rose Touch? So we're going to do just a small little review to remind you about why Rose is so amazing. We know that it supports a healthy immune system. And let's talk about how it does that. So if you remember in 2017, I shared with you a story about my daughter. How many of you would like to hear it again?
Incredible, powerful story.
So my wonderful mother thought it would be a great idea to get a blow-up slide for the 4th of July for all of the grandkids to play on. Little did she know what was lurking on the plastic of that slide. So the kids played and had a great time. A couple of days later, my daughter showed me little spots on her skin. And we thought they were bug bites at first. We were out leaving on a little family vacation. And by the end of the day, she showed me these spots again, all over her arm, all over her thigh and knee. And these have turned to the size of a quarter. And as I looked at them, my heart sunk because I knew exactly what it was. And I knew it was devastating. So we quickly started using On Guard soft gels and putting On Guard topically. And then in a conversation with Dr. Hill, was reminded of the research that Nicole Parrish presented on this stage. And knowing that Rose was the powerhouse when she tested, had the greatest broad spectrum effect of any essential oil, even more so than oregano or On Guard. So I shifted my protocol and I started using Rose Touch on her. I added in some tea tree touch, and then intermittently I would add in a little bit of cilantro and arborvitae while continuing to do the On Guard soft gels internally. So we did that. And to see her skin clear up so beautifully within a week's time, it's amazing. Which gave me confidence when my sister then called me and her 2 children who played on the same slide with my daughter had the exact same thing. We did the exact same protocol and they got the exact same results. Now, if 3 witnesses wasn't enough that the oils work, Russell Butters, who was our vice president of sales, came to me with his little nephew. His situation was a little scary because it was right underneath his eye. And you can see it using this exact same protocol. By day 10, his skin is clear and beautiful. These essential oils work. They work, but in order to work, they must remain pure. We must remain committed to the source. And I promise you that we will valiantly defend the purity of the source and always pursue what is good and what is pure. We will never, ever deviate from that because our health all depends on it. These oils only do what we talk about if they are pure and if they are potent. In July, I was able to go to Oregon and visit with our peppermint producer, two of them actually, our sourcing partners, with some of our Diamond Club winners. It was a wonderful, amazing experience. I love to go on these trips because I gain such wonderful friendships with these amazing people that earn this trip. I had this amazing experience with a woman by the name of Claudia. And she's just one of those souls that emulates so much love. To be in her presence, you know there's no judgment. You know that she just loves. Now, we all go through a lot of heartache, don't we? We go through loss. And because of the pain that we experience as human beings, oftentimes we put up walls in order to protect ourselves because we don't want to be hurt again. But in order for us to give love, we must be able to receive love, which means we have to bring those walls down. We have to open ourselves up to being heard again in order to feel real joy. Rose is an oil that allows us to do that. I call rose the oil of self-love. You look at the blossom and it looks like a blanket that's wrapped around you, where you're able to feel the worthiness of your soul, worthiness of your heart. You're able to have those intimate relationships with other people. Rose is an oil that I always put over my heart before I ever present, before I ever go into a crowd, because I want to make sure that my heart is wide open so that not only can I receive your love, but I can give you my full love in return. So it's an amazing, awesome oil for that. Now, have any of you got anger issues? Or do you know of someone who has anger issues, right? We all know that person, or we all can be that person at times. Let me tell you a secret about rose. A little bit of rose behind your ears before you go into a difficult situation, and it will diffuse those feelings of anger almost immediately. It's amazing. So you get to be a walking diffuser, right? You're showering joy and happiness, and they don't even know what's going on. All of a sudden, they're happier. It's awesome. Rose also has been found to normalize brain activity that can sometimes stimulate undesired muscle responses. But I can tell you through the research that has been done with rose, and I encourage you to please go seek it out on your own, that I am so excited to have Jamel try this on her son Rylan and to see what benefit she might receive. Now, through research, they've discovered that simply by putting 5 drops of rose on a cotton ball 20 minutes before bedtime, those who suffer from nightmares, those who have a difficult time going to sleep, or if they wake up at night, that they had a more restful night's sleep. They didn't have the nightmares. They stayed asleep all night simply by diffusing rose. Now we know rose is in console, which would be a great one also to diffuse, also in passion, but I love rose diffused. It's just a wonderful, beautiful oil. Now sometimes we go through those situations where we're feeling a little discomfort, right? Maybe a lot of discomfort in the abdominal region, especially that time of the month, or other symptoms that might cause those abdominal pains. So simply by inhaling rose, we find that we can receive a lot of comfort in that regard. Rose is a powerhouse. It is so versatile in its uses. I really look at Rose and say, is there anything she can't do? It's like, no wonder she's called the queen of oils, right? You look at frankincense and you look at Rose, there's definitely a reason they are the royalty of the essential oil family. So when we look at that skin barrier, it's there for a reason, right? It protects us from the UV radiation. It's going to protect our tissues and our organs from extreme cold, extreme heat. It's a protective layer from different pathogens and toxins from entering into our bloodstream. It's wonderful. It's actually compromised when we have serious stress in our lives. And that's because our cortisol levels are elevated in our body. And we find that rose actually helps decrease cortisol levels, not surprising, which then helps keep the integrity of that skin barrier intact, which helps protect our body from getting sick. Now, you might say, well, why is rose so expensive? It is very expensive, right? It takes 10,000 roses to produce just 5 milliliters of rose essential oil. Now, I'm a little bit of a rose snob. I'm very particular in where my rose essential oil comes from. It's grown in many different countries around the world, but I'm very particular to Bulgarian rose. Now, in 2015, we created a distillery in doTERRA, Bulgaria. And the reason we did that is because the growers were being mistreated by the brokers. They weren't being paid a fair wage. And when we asked them what they needed in order to bring that legacy forward of growing lavender and melissa in this beautiful region, they said, we need a distillery so that we have a partner that will pay us a fair wage. And in order to run a distillery, we needed someone that had ultimate integrity and hearts of the people in mind. So Plama Nikolov is our general manager of Esoteric. And I want you to brag for just a moment about what we've accomplished in Bulgaria, because in 3 years, we've accomplished quite a bit. 4 years, I guess now.
Actually, 4 years. 4 active years. These are numbers. I mean, everyone can read the numbers.
Right.
But what we did, we created a team. We established contacts with the farmers, and these contacts are already, we consider them as long-term contacts. We follow simple principles, actually. We are honest and direct and patient, and we are open-minded, inventive, and hardworking, empathetic, caring, supportive. So we want to be a lot of that, what we see here and what we learn from you and the organization doTERRA. And I can tell you that we like the result. We like what we are, where we are. We receive feedback from our partners, very direct and clear feedback. We're fine.
What I love, we have also 20 million 15 ml bottles, right, of oil that's been produced through Esoteric since 2015.
It's amazing, yes. I was really surprised as we decided to calculate this number, and really just imagine all this oil went through our hands practically, and these are 20 million 15 ml bottles, a lot of oil.
So I would love for you to share with the audience what it has meant to the farmers in this region to have Esoteric.
It took us a while a year or two.
They were skeptical at first.
Yeah,
I thought we
absolutely.
would be like the other brokers.
Absolutely, everyone was very skeptical, and
Some of them had gone years without being paid for the lavender oil that they
Yeah.
sold to the brokers, right?
absolutely. And we went into this atmosphere and with the clear decision to change it. And it took us a while, a year maybe or a year and a half, and then it was amazing. Of course, the help from doTERRA, but we are following the simple principles of the co-impact, and we saw how it paid off immediately. So we are working in the meantime with people for 4 years, and they count on us. We have good times, we have bad times. Our business depends on the meteorology, but still, when we are there, the people count on us, and there are there's a lot of recognition we got back, and yeah.
You've taken all the risk away. So you'll provide the starts. You even provide the equipment and harvest the lavender or melissa or yarrow, right, for them. So you completely take the risk away.
Yeah.
They have a guaranteed buyer.
Absolutely.
They have a guaranteed price.
Yeah.
But then they can also get an additional bonus depending on the quality of the crop that they're bringing in.
In the so-called long year history of the essential oils in Bulgaria, nobody mentioned ever the word quality. So we were the first, actually, doTERRA was the first company who decided to pay an additional bonus or to make the people sensitive with this word quality.
Harvesting at the right timing.
Right
moment. Really caring for the plant.
On the other side, we currently also a very professional distillation process, which is not always the case.
Right.
Yeah.
I love what you've done. Now we've received a few awards. In fact, while we're talking, I'm going to show some B-roll. Maybe you can share with them, with the video, some of the things that they're seeing with doTERRA, and to see how it has grown in the last couple of years.
Okay.
So, yes, it started out with just 8 stills. Yeah. And how many do we have now?
At the moment, we have 36 stills.
36 stills.
We recently opened the second distillery this season. This is the second distillery.
Right. And we're distilling frankincense here as well.
Actually, not exactly here. This is yellow oils distillery, lavender, melissa. Look at this.
And then you have one for blue oils, right?
Blue oils
for yarrow.
Yeah, for yarrow, and yeah, we are.
And then frankincense has its own special distiller.
The whole year through.
Right, right. It's quite a beacon. What are some of the awards that you've received in Bulgaria?
Yeah.
Recognized throughout the country. You can brag to these people. We're all together, right? Yeah. We've all done this together.
We were 2017 for our achievements. 2017, we were mentioned as the fastest growing young company in our area in the north, east of Bulgaria, and in our branch, which is actually in Bulgaria. The branch is not only essential oils, but also the pharmaceutical companies are counting in this branch. So we really can be very proud with this achievement.
She received a new award this year, right?
And this year, yes, of course, we kept our place, so to say. In addition, from a Ministry of Sports, Youth, and we received a recognition as a best donator in Bulgaria connected to children. So if I can say it, yeah, and so on and so on.
It's amazing. So I want to share with you a little bit about Kozalok, the Valley of the Roses.
Yeah.
And if you'll play the B-roll while we're talking, maybe talk to them about. For me, Kozalok is as if you walked back in time.
Yeah.
Right. It's so pristine. It's so clean. You don't see any of the automobiles that are coming through in this region. And you see the pickers that go out. It's a very narrow window when they can pick the roses.
Yeah, 1 month. Yeah.
1 month.
Not even.
And so you have immigrant pickers that come in, and very early in the morning, because the oil is so volatile that comes off the petals. Why is it so special? The rose is distilled there in Casamance, that the roses are grown in Casamance, a mixed rose from Casamance.
So the spectral people, professionals, they would say it's a combination between meteorology, soil, the weather. I can tell you that there is something much more there. There is a kind of energy there in this small little valley. Well, you have the Balkan Mountains on your backside to the north, and open to the south and the sun. There is something there. Everyone should feel himself. So
it's amazing.
Energy is there, yes.
So we're going to bring 200 people there next May.
Only
200 people, right?
Yeah.
If anyone's going after the Prime Wellness Club, you're going to go. But I want to share with you our future plans for Casamance and what we want to do for roads. Our vision for Terra Rosa.
Yes, we actually we are used to build every year a distillery. So if life happens like this, and so next year this will be our project. The plot what we see is already purchased, and we decided to put, this is a simple ideal drawing of what might come on this plot. It is in the heart of the Rose Valley, very close to the mountain, which is a guarantee of the quality of the rose plantations there, and we will be.
But it's the same. It's the same concept as doTERRA. We will be the distiller, right? We're pretty proficient at distilling, right? We've got Tanya, who has been a rose distiller for over 20 years. She's amazing, the best there is. But we'll work with local rose farmers.
Yes.
And give them a fair price, which is something that they want, right?
Absolutely. We will repeat. Yes. We will repeat what we have done in the Northeast, and in the meantime, I think it will be easier because we have a name and a position, actually.
Right.
This is the good thing.
And we get to bring hope into Casamance now, as well as doTERRA. Yes. So, with that, can you guess what we've been building for? We now will be able to offer pure rose. So thank you, Kwamen. Can you give him some love? All right, now let's go to Kenya.
We are going to stop there. Isn't that exciting, everyone? I just thought I'd share about rose oil. Just the benefits. I know many of us go like, how would we ever afford this? 10,000 roses to create this precious bottle of oil. And so there we are. I learned a lot this morning when I was just doing more research into rose oil, and I thought I would share that with you. Remember, I cannot actually see you. I'm going live on Facebook. So just comment, ask any questions, and I'll get back to you later. Have an awesome day.